I need 8 more things. The books. The Beatles Christmas book. All the things. I could probably put this in our bedroom. And I think this one's really cute, so I'm going to hang on to her. Hi guys, let's declutter right now. Day 21 of my 50 items per day for a month declutter challenge. Let's see what we can find today. I'm thinking about looking in this box again. See what's hiding in there. You ready? Let's do it. It looks like I had things in here in a couple of layers, so I took all of the things that were on the top layer, I unwrapped them, so there's a bunch of paper up there, and I put them in this box lid. I found a few things that I'm going to put in my memory jar, and I'm going to put the marbles with my other marbles. They're also in a jar, so we'll call that my marbles jar. One thing I did as I was taking everything out was I paid attention to what I call that little niggle in my brain, that when I pick something up or see something, it kind of lets me know that I'm ready to let it go. And there were a few of those here, and some of them were almost there, but not quite. So the ones that I know for sure, this little basket, I made that, I was just playing around. It's made out of like Kroger bags, and I cut them up and crocheted them into a little basket. I don't need to keep that. And I have this little owl. I can let him go. So what I'm trying to do is learn to listen to that little niggle, because what happens is it lets me know that I'm ready to let it go, but then a lot of times I don't, and then a day or two later I come back and let it go. But that almost always happens. So today I'm going to try to pay attention to that little niggle and let it go. So here's this. He's cute, but I can let him go. Oh, hang on just a second. I got something to show you. This is my little niggles box. So what I'm going to try to do is every time I get that thought in my brain in passing, as I touch something or go to get something, and I get that little thought of, I don't like that neckline, I don't like the color of that, I don't want this anymore, whatever the thought is, when I get that, I'm going to pay attention to it, and I'm going to take that item and I'm going to put it in this box. And this is my little niggles box. So these items are going to go in here. See? And the point would be that I would leave those little niggles in the box, and they wouldn't be in that space where they've been bugging me. Like if I went to grab a shirt out, and every time I went to grab the shirt out, I had this twinge of thought of, I don't like that shirt, but I leave it in the closet anyway. Well, this way I would put that shirt in my little niggles box, and then when I go to get something out of my closet, that shirt wouldn't be in there, and I wouldn't be getting that thought of, I don't like that shirt. Let's see what else we got. These are Boyd's little tags that come on the Boyd's things. I don't need to keep those, so I'm going to put those in my little nickel box. And this, whatever this is, I think you can put a little light in it, one of those little battery powered, looks like a flame light, that would probably go in there, but I don't use it, so I'm going to let it go. I had the little niggle, it's time to let it go. All of this stuff used to be in my china cabinet. I had all of my pretties in my china cabinet, but it was just so crowded that I took a lot of stuff out, and I kept taking stuff out and taking stuff out and taking stuff out until I got it where I was happy with it and it wasn't so crowded. And then my husband said it looked bare. But that's because he likes stuff, and I don't want so much stuff. I couldn't even see anything. It was just so crowded. But, you know, we're just different that way, and that's okay. But it's my stuff, and I'm the one that has to clean it, so I get to choose. I also saw a few things that I want to put out in my box for my fairy garden. If I don't use these things, I'll let go of them later, but these are just a few things that I may use. So one of them is this pretty rock. A little friend of ours painted this for us years and years ago, and I've always kept it in my pretties cabinet. But I think I can put it out in my fairy garden now. think she would look cute in my fairy garden too. So I'm going to let her go out there. And hubby finds heart-shaped rocks for me sometimes. So I always hang on to them, but I think I can make use of them in my fairy garden. My sister made this when one of my nieces had a baby, so I think I'm going to hang on to that. And I think this one's really cute, so I'm going to hang on to her. And I think this would be adorable in my fairy garden. My niece got this Alice in Wonderland ornament for me one year for Christmas. She drew my name, and I want to keep this. I like Alice in Wonderland. I like all those kid stories and stuff, so I'm going to hang on to that. This one reminds me of my niece's kids when they were little, so I'm going to hang on to that one just for now. I may let it go someday, but not yet. This one gave me a little niggle when I picked it up, and it's broken at the top where its halo is. I used to collect a lot of angels, but I just haven't been doing that, and I want to pare down what I have, so I'm going to go ahead and let that go. I can put that in my fairy garden stuff. It's okay to put broken things out there. This one also gave me a little niggle, but she's small, and I think I can put her in my little memory jar. I like to have a little bit of variety and interest in there, so I think that'd be cute. I think the horse might look cool out in my fairy garden. This one's kind of sweet. I think I'll put her with my Christmas stuff. And you know I can't let go of the kitty cat. I'm going to put this with my Christmas stuff too. And I'm going to put this with my Christmas stuff. I think I'll put this one with my fairy garden. I'm going to have to wrap her good though. She's very delicate. Her little hands, her fingers got broken at some point, but she's very cute. I do like her. So I'm going to put her in my fairy garden. I'm going to see if I can find a place to use this. It's a bracelet, but I always used it just as a decoration around the house. And I have red in my house. A lot of people like neutrals, but I like color, and we have a lot of things that are red. So I think I'll see if this can sit out anywhere, and if it can't, then it can always go in my Christmas stuff because of the colors. I got this shoe just because I like it. It's one of those ones that have the birthstone thing, but it's not from my birth month, but I didn't care. I like roses, and it has roses on it, so I bought it. And I do still like it, and I do have these colors in our bedroom, so I'll see if it'll go in our bedroom. If not, I'll have to think about either it can go in the fairy garden, or maybe I need to let it go. I need to find a place to put it, or let it go, because I don't want to have a bunch of stuff stored. I'm going to put my Boyd's Angels with my Christmas stuff. And this is just a cute little tree, so I'm going to put it with my Christmas stuff too. And the Boyd's graduation bear, I'm going to think about him a little bit, so I'm going to wrap him up and put him back in the box to think about and consider for another day. I put a few things in my memory jar. I have some things for my fairy garden and a few things I'm going to put in my Christmas bins. But I still don't have enough stuff. I have 15 items, and that includes the paper that these things were wrapped in. It may not look like I'm getting rid of very much, but I actually got rid of like 50 to 75% of what I had. So I've already been through this and did a pretty deep purge, but I think I'll go through the rest of this now just to see what's in here because I really don't remember, and maybe there's some stuff I can let go of. There were several Boyd's Christmas figurines in there. These were the ones that I kept. I gave away a ton of Boyd's figurines already, and these were the ones I kept as my favorites. And like you can see, this one says, "'Twas the night before Christmas," and so does this one. And so I just kept a few. So I'm going to go ahead and keep those, but I'm going to wrap them up and put them with my Christmas stuff instead of them being in this box. These things over here, though, I'm going to let these go. There's a couple of things I'm going to go ahead and put in my fairy garden, but the rest of it, I'm going to put it in the little niggles box and let it go. I'm going to add this little bunny to my fairy garden collection. I could probably put this in our bedroom and it would look fine. Maybe the colors. But you know what? I don't want to dust it, so I'm not going to keep it. These are the items so far that I'm going to be giving away. And I have a bunch of paper. So far, I have 28 items. So I need to keep looking. And all of this is going to go in my Christmas bins. And yeah, I know, I just got through doing a big mega Christmas declutter, but that's okay. These were items that I care about, and next Christmas I plan to do another declutter. I'll let go of some more things, maybe even some of these. You never know. Hubby's okay with letting this go, so that's my number 29 for today. I put the live sign here to be my happy on my chest of drawers, and I moved the sign up there on the shelf in our closet. It's getting harder to find things, so I think I'm going to go down here and take a peek under the bed on this section and see if I can find any books that I can let go of. Books are hard for me. I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm going to pull a few of these out and we'll see what we got. I have a friend who does this stuff, Zentangle. It's amazing how beautiful some of this stuff is. Her stuff is much prettier than what this is. This is one of those adult coloring books, and I'm sure my husband got it for me because it's A Christmas Carol. He knows I love that stuff. I do want to read this book. And I remember doing this sort of thing in my art class. And the teacher just had a bunch of things that was like things that started and then you finished drawing it. And you're supposed to use your imagination. Like this looks like an ice cream cone automatically to me. But if you use your imagination, maybe you could see it as a pregnant lady. You know, there's her belly. And maybe she's got on like a dress or something. So you're supposed to use your imagination. And see, here's the baby. Use your imagination and see what you can come up with. I read this book already. I did like the book, and that's why I kept it. And also it has a cat. And on some of the pages, you'll see the silhouette of the cat. So, even though I like the book and I like the cover, I'm going to go ahead and let it go because I typically don't read a book a second time. And I've already read this one. And I'll let someone else enjoy it. So, there you go. There's one. I remember getting this one at a book fair I was set up at. Another lady had this book, but I never have read it, and I've had it for a few years. So I'm going to go ahead and let it go. Go ahead and let that go. This is another one of those where this was the lady who came to the writing group that I used to be in, and she set up with us at a book fair, and I bought a couple of her books, but I never have read them, and it's been a few years. So I'm going to go ahead and let them go. And she actually signed them to me, too. So I'm going to let those go. I'm going to keep the books that I have that are poetry books, and I'm going to go through those all at the same time and narrow down what I have. So I'll hang on to this one for now. But honestly, it'll probably go. It's sort of one of those little niggles, but I do want to look at it a little bit better and make that decision for sure. Well, this is interesting. It's not a book. It can go in my sewing stuff. And a puzzle. It's a pretty one. I might try to work it, and if I can't, I have a neck problem, and so sometimes it hurts my neck to do stuff like that. If I can't work it, then I can give it away. And this can go with my art stuff. This can go with my art stuff. This can go with my art stuff. I'll put these with that. So these can go with my art stuff, so they can get put away. And that can go with my sewing stuff, so that can get put away. This I can put in my family room because if I work it, that's where I'll do it at. And this can go with my art stuff too. This is a bag of Christmas books. I have a huge collection of Christmas books. That will be another one of those things that I'll want to put them all together and then see what I have and narrow it down. So I'm going to have to start consolidating. So I'll have poetry books and I'll have Christmas books. I'll have math books. I'll have writing books. I'll have all kinds of categories, but I need to start categorizing and consolidating so that when I'm ready, I can go through them. So we'll make a pile for Christmas books. The Beatles Christmas book. More stuff to go with my art supplies. And more stuff, and more stuff. I think I'm going to have a whole category of that to go through too. We have 7 more out of our 21, so I need 14 more things. Math book. Math book. I think I can let that one go. I can let that one go. Okay, that's 9. Now we got a math book pile going. We still have a little space here to work though, so we're good. Got a pretty good bit here cleared out. I don't know if you can tell. I might be able to vacuum that at some point. This is poetry. So we're getting a little pile of poetry books here. I remember that I read the book If I Stay, but I don't remember reading this one. This is a sequel. So I'm going to keep this one because the reason I bought it was because I wanted to read it. Because I read the first one and I liked it. If I start reading it and realize that I did read it, then I can let it go. Christmas. Christmas. Fancy Nancy. I gotta hang on to my Fancy Nancy. I really like Fancy Nancy. I don't know why, but she's just so cute and I love her. And Splat the cat. I also love Rustle the sheep, also by Rob Scotton. So I keep that. I love kids' books. I think I'll keep this one and see if there are any exercises in here that I can actually do without hurting my neck. Because I do need to do exercises. I just have to be careful which ones I do. So I'm going to hang on to that. And this one. I'm going to go through these. That's probably a whole nother pile. The ones for diet and the ones for exercise. And I can go through those and see which ones actually work for me. So I'll put those into piles as well. Make another category. Math. I need 8 more things. So we'll start over here. See what we've got. I've read this book already, so I can let it go. I used to hang on to all my books. If I liked the book, I just kept it. But now I don't do that. I've kept a few that are kind of special to me, but I don't keep every book now. Just because I like it is not a good enough reason to keep it now. So this is going to be one of those. It's a good book, but I'm going to let it go. And these are my husband's magnets, so I'll give those to him. I can put the paper clip where it goes, and this can go. I haven't read this one yet, so I'm going to hang on to it for now, but once I read it, I'm going to let it go. I don't remember if I've read this one or not, so I'm going to put this in the pile of the ones I'm going to read and then let them go. I think I read this book, but I'm not positive, so I'm going to stick it in this stack over here, and then if I start reading it and I don't like it or realize that I've already read it, I'll let it go. If not, I'll read it and then I'll let it go. And same thing with this one. I'm not sure if I read that one or not, so I'll put it in this pile. Here are a couple more that I've read, and I'm going to let those go. This looks like something I would not want to keep at this point. So, yep, I can let this one go. Christmas, this one's a vintage. I read this book. I can let it go. I probably got this book back when I made that wedding dress for my friend. But I don't need it now, so I can let it go. Well, I can put this in my office and use it to write in. I'm going to put these in the basement in that cabinet with my office supplies. And I'm going to put this photo album with my other photos in the closet. And I emptied another bag. I already put the rest of the stuff that I'm giving away out in the garage, but along with that, this is our pile of 50 plus items that are leaving our home today. I'm going to move my doll and put her up there for the moment in case she does stay in this room. Well, now look what I done. Can't have anything nice. That's better. Since I want to consolidate my books, I thought I might as well go ahead and start now since I had all those pulled out. So I put the Christmas books over here with these because I know that most, if not all of these, are Christmas books. And also in this box, it's all Christmas books. And I used one of those boxes I had emptied out to make a little faux shelf for a few more of them. Put a few on top. I put the photo album that was in here away, and I put the art books that I had downstairs in the basement with my office supplies. I'll be consolidating my art things, my office things, my different categories of books, my sewing. I think I'll be able to make better decisions on some things if I have them all kind of grouped together, more or less like the Marie Kondo thing. I don't normally do the Marie Kondo thing, but I think with some things it'll be better for me to kind of have it all together and see what I've got so I kind of know what I should keep and what I should let go of. I'll keep picking at the books randomly and taking out a few here and there to let go of.
I felt a little niggle, it was nudging at my brain. It was telling me to listen, and its purpose was to train. It told me I was ready, it was time to let it go. But I wasn't really hearing, so I kept the status quo. Every day the niggle let me know that it was there. It was bugging me and nudging me and getting in my hair. So I took that little niggle and I threw it in a bin. In a week I threw it out, so it can't niggle me again. If you've got a little niggle and you'd rather have some peace, throw that niggle in a bin for a week and then release. You'll be happier without it. You'll be glad you let it go. If you listen to your niggles, you can change your status quo.
Meanwhile, I made some progress under here. I got some of them out from under the bed. There's a few. See, I guess I don't have any underneath in the middle. That's a good thing. I know there's some on the other side. Looks like there's a few that's got pushed back there.